In the last 4 days, I've made quite a bit of progress with Platform Masters. You can probably get hint by all these extra stars added on here. And it's quite a few. This is this to-do list as I've had since the first video. Or at least if I recall, anyway. Well, you can see that I got the sky backdrops. I got a lot of these things on here, and you might notice a few new ones on here too. Create the low density version for the clouds. You might notice there's 3 stars. Well, I'm working on that right now. I just wanted to demonstrate the process behind it anyway. Rewrite the format number function. Got that one done. Rewrite the draw bitmap font function. Done. Except I had a class 6 bug and was causing a lot of problems. Crashes. Yes, it was crashing. And there was a multi-spacing bug where letters are being left out and there's odd spacing and things like that. So, yep. And word wrap and stage 4 are the 2 culprits for a lot of the problems. 9 hours to get this thing done. But, hey, it's done. Put it on Supernatural Olympics and, hey, there's progress toward that game too, in a way. And, you might notice here, create the character, and it's got 5 stars. Nice treat, huh? Well, I'm really making progress, as you can kind of get a hint of. Create a level editor using the engine. You might notice I got 2 stars here. Well, planning. That's what I've got right now for that regard. And you might notice I got the same song playing too. Yeah, Winterland, I've been at it for about 10 days. Rystar World, or Round 5-1. Planet Freyon. But anyway, I wanted to show you what most of the graphical type stuff I've been working on. And one thing I want you to note is this. Look how many page faults this program causes. I've never seen anything like this. And yet, that's not even my record yet. Yeah, that's not my record. Lots of CPU time, but hey, page fault delta. I've seen this at 180,000. And lasting for several seconds, too. And I can reproduce it almost at will. I'll give you a hint. Move layers. Move layers. That's your hint. Figure it out from there. I always have Windows Task Manager in the background because this program's prone to infinite loop problems. A problem I've had for about 2 years now. Since like 2.2.8 or whatever. But anyway, you might also notice this here is abnormally high. Well, it's a glitch. That's for this Gigabyte motherboard. But anyway, so let's see here. I got a big mess here. I'm using this to process the clouds to get the actual shape. I gotta find it in this mess. Yeah, because I'm trying to show you everything. There's quite a bit. And these are the clouds, or at least in their stretched out form. This is the low density version. They're stretched in a 6:1 ratio, so they're 6 times wider than they're supposed to be. But what it becomes is this. Huh? This looks weird. Well, there's a reason for that. How do you suppose I got the 3D effects? 3D effects, yeah. Double the distance, objects are half as wide. Well, and half as high as well, but that's basically where I get the 3D effects from. It's really narrow here, just barely changed here. But also note this numbers here. This references the quarter scaling zone, so just divide that by 4 to get the actual scaling. What's scaling? Well, it's the size and distance of something. And for an extreme end, this. This is, well, at the very top, this is the 256 scale. 256 times 100 means 25,600 feet distance, which is a little less than 5 miles. That's where the scaling is. One scaling unit is 100 feet of distance. And here's this one here as well. You can kind of get a hint of that on the process. But that's basically the low density version for the clouds. And this is what I use to get the shape. I just set a base layer and process it from there, as you can kind of get a hint of. But anyway, and you probably saw that the character was done. And this is rather weird looking, and I mean rather weird. So, let's go get a look at them a little closer. So this is the standing state. This is wait, which is one of my favorites. And of course you might notice that there's a right and then a left, some rights, left, and it just keeps cycling. This is what happens when you fall out or go into the bottomless pits where there's no hope for a return. This is when you're looking straight across, but ready for one of these two. This is look up, look down. This is jumping, falling. And these here are for running to the right. This one is difficult to figure out because the arms and the legs I couldn't really figure out. I had a hard time with that, so I just figured, well, instead of using an angle, I just go with two angles, just a single straight line. Simplifies it. I'm not focused on graphics quality, remember that. This is stop. Little white puffy clouds falling in from puffs, as I call them. This is for swimming. I'm actually not sure how you really swim, but based on what I see in other games, it's what I use as a guideline for that. Yes, I don't know how to swim. But this one here is fall glide, useful for crossing large gaps and cutting gravity down. This is gliding, another useful way to cross gaps, except big gaps, or just really long distances, in a way. This is for bounce, which kind of does have its use, mostly in accelerating gravity. And this is levee burst. It was hinted at in one of my dreams. I had a little difficulty with that one. But that's the character. Getting scared? Because this is lava. This is a rare item. You won't see lava too often. And you might notice that something here looks rather odd. Why is this odd gap here? Well, thing is, this is to be drawn in the background. The character is to be drawn kind of in the middle, kind of give you a 3D kind of effects. Simple ones. And little small bubbles here, and of course, the lower end. But that's what lava looks like. There's also mud as well, which uses the exact same setup. Mud, all that really does is just slows you down and hinders jumping. It's kind of like a hazard like the spikes, only it's non-hazardous. Except to cost you time. Time. You don't want to be wasting that stuff when you get do difficulty level 8. This is ocean waves. It's supposed to tile repeatedly, infinitely. Well, not infinitely, otherwise you'll get a class 7 bug. Infinite loops. They're not fun. But anyway, you can kind of see this nice texture here. It's an 8-to-1 ratio. It's basically this right here, in a sense. So as you can kind of tell here, that's the wave height. Wavelength, wave height. I use an 8-to-1 ratio. And this is a sine curve. Sine, that's a mathematical function used for angles. That's what I use. It's what I use for water. And this is one of the Windows bugs that I'm aware of and known since I've switched to XP. And this is for other water where the waves aren't as big. For World 5, for example. And, in case you're wondering, since you've seen the daytime sky a lot, this is what the sky for dusk looks like, as you can kind of get a hint of. This is just a backdrop. And one of my favorites is night. But then again, I might need to change this ground color to what the very bottom here is to make consistency, but I'm thinking night, dark, everything's dark. So that's where I'm getting that from. But anyway, this is based off of my logo in a sense. But that's basically all I have for this. Oh, and if you're wondering, yeah, this simple movement here is adding a whole bunch of page faults. Just do this for a long time and yeah, up, 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 real fast. But anyway, this video was created by Ulillillia. Thank you for watching.